The liturgy of the Eucharist is best understood as a journey or procession. It is the journey of the Church into the dimension of the kingdom. It is not an escape from the world, rather it is the arrival at a vantage point from which we can see more deeply into the reality of the world. The journey begins when Christians leave their homes and beds. They leave indeed their life in this present and concrete world, and whether they have to drive 15 miles or to walk a few blocks, a sacramental act is already taking place, an act which is the very condition of everything else that is to happen. For they are now on their way to constitute the Church, or to be more exact, to be transformed into the Church of God. They have been individuals, some white, some black, some poor, some rich. They have been the natural world and a natural community. And now they have been called to come together in one place, to bring their lives, their very world with them, and to be more than what they were, a new community with a new life. The purpose of this coming together is not simply to add a religious dimension to the natural community, to make it better, more responsible, more Christian. The purpose is to fulfill the Church, and that means to make present the one in whom all things are at their end, and all things are at their beginning. The liturgy begins then as a real separation from the world. In our attempt to make Christianity appeal to the man on the street, we have often minimized, or even completely forgotten this necessary separation. We always want to make Christianity understandable and acceptable to this mythical modern man on the street. And we forget that the Christ of whom we speak is not of this world, and that after his resurrection, he was not recognized even by his own disciples. Mary Magdalene thought he was a gardener. When 2 of his disciples were going to Emmaus, Jesus himself drew near and went with them, and they did not know him before. He took bread and blessed it and broke it and gave it to them. He appeared to the 12 with the doors being shut. It was apparently no longer sufficient simply to know that he was the Son of Mary. There was no physical imperative to recognize him. He was, in other words, no longer a part of this world, of its reality. And to recognize him, to enter into the joy of his presence, to be with him, meant a conversion to another reality. It is known only in the fullness of the Church, as she gathers to meet the Lord and to share in his risen life. And when, after this liturgy of ascension, they returned into the world, their faces reflected the light, the joy and peace of that kingdom, and they were truly its witnesses. Things impossible were made possible. They were witnesses, and when they were asked, "Whence shines this light? Where is the source of this power?" they knew what to answer and where to lead men. In church today, we so often find we meet only the same old world, not Christ and his kingdom. We do not realize that we never get anywhere because we never leave any place behind us. To leave, to come, this is the beginning, the starting point of the sacrament, the condition of its transforming power and reality.